Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 188 of Rush Roundtable. Today we have a topic all about regret. So, what is your biggest regret as a Rush fan? So, it's a pretty straightforward topic, but hopefully we'll have some various different regrets. And we'll start with Rob. Go ahead.
Does this count as a regret doing this round
Doing this
table?
episode, yeah.
I would say for me, I came into the Rush concert going experience in the late 80s. So I would probably say not seeing them in the 90s is probably like my biggest regret because I wasn't really into the turn of decade 80s into 90s. I wasn't really into, that early on stuff, those early records. So I think missing out on those tours, I think that's probably like my biggest regret was not seeing those shows.
So you, so when did you start? What was like your first show? You
My
probably said
first,
this on your Rush Roots, but
yeah, the Rush Roots. It was Power Windows was my very first ever concert. So Rush kind of kicked off the whole concert going experience for me, and it's like, I saw Hold Your Fire three times, and then there was a drop off, and I didn't see them again until Tesseract.
Wow,
So
that's a
there's
long
that span of time
time.
in between. I just didn't see them at all. So that's a big regret for me. I should have been there, but I wasn't. So
so you missed
I missed Presto.
Presto,
I missed
Roll the Bones, and Counterparts tours, and then saw them again on
I saw them
Test.
for
Got it.
Tesseract, then I saw them on R30, Vapor Trails, so yeah. And then I didn't catch the last R40, I didn't catch the last tour. So that could be a second regret, not seeing that. But I was happy with what I saw. I think just that early 90s was the time I should have been there and I wasn't, so I kicked myself on that one.
Yeah, some good.
Counterparts.
What's
Counterparts
that?
was
Yeah, I was gonna say some good,
Counterparts.
a lot of good stuff on Counterparts. Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
so
The tour, anyways. And the record, but all right. For me, my biggest regret was starting Rush Roundtable.
Uh,
No, no, no,
Gotta
no.
go.
I'm
I
just
was
kidding.
you poor unfortunate soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
No. So I actually have two that are tied. The first being not seeing them in 2007, 2008 on Snakes and Arrows. So I got into the Rush game. I said this on my Rush roots as well, but got into the game in like the fall of 2007 as a freshman in high school. A buddy kind of got me into them. You can go watch the Rush roots to hear the whole story. But um, coming back around in 2008 on the second leg of the Snakes and Arrows tour, I had the option because I was only 14 at the time. My parents gave me the option: go see Motley Crue or go see Rush. Let me
Oh,
rephrase that. They gave me the option to go see one show, and those are the two options that I was weighing because I was like, okay, do I go see this band that I'm just getting into in Rush, or do I go see this band that I'm actually really familiar with that I've never seen? I had never been to a concert at that point, or and go see Motley Crue. Um, when I told Donna Halper that story, she looked like she wanted to slaughter me, but
yeah. Does
that's
she like have an aneurysm right there on the spot?
yeah. So I of course went and saw Motley Crue because it made sense at the time, right? It was the band that I was more into, I knew more about, knew more songs. So looking back on it, that was a regret. Obviously not going and seeing Snakes and Arrows, but probably I said they're tied, but this might next one might be probably is higher. Um, is not seeing more shows on R40. I saw R40 once in New Jersey. Jerry, I think you were there. Mario, you might have been there. I don't know, but
Pardon.
okay, you were the night after. Okay. But I was fortunate. I feel very fortunate and grateful that I got to see Losing It live. It was one of the five venues that saw Losing It. Saw How It Is live, which I thought was a highlight of R40. But 2015, I just graduated college, just got my first new job right out of college, and it didn't feel right taking a bunch of PTO to go see Rush 3 or 4 or 5 times, right?
Right.
Looking back on it,
Yeah. Why not?
loyalty to companies is stupid, right? So
Mhm.
for the most part,
Loyalty to Rush is better.
loyalty to Rush is better. Yeah. So I do regret not seeing them multiple times on R40 because I had the option or to go to the Madison Square Garden one 2 nights after. I think it was after, not before, but they were back to back. And I won't make the same mistake again because Iron Maiden, when they come in 2024 to America, we think I plan to do like 3 shows back to back to back. I'm not going to make that same, my second favorite band, right? So I'm not going to make that same mistake again. But yeah, that's probably my biggest regret because, I really I had the money to do it. I just didn't have the
time,
the balls to do it, to take all that
Yes.
time off from work right out of,
Right.
because probably would look bad, but
No, it's
Mhm.
understandable.
anyways. Yeah,
Plus
it
you-
makes
At the
sense,
time, it
right?
made
But
sense.
yeah, at the time it made sense. But looking back on it, it's like, 3 jobs later, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'd rather have the memory than, but
You don't have
it is what it is.
memories of all of working there.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Just
1 or
memories
2.
Yeah, you just think about all
A
the
couple good friends I've made, but other than that, it's like whatever, it's in the past. All right. So Evan, your biggest regret as a Rush fan?
I would have this is an easy one for me. My biggest regret is not being able to see them live, period. I'm one of the unfortunate few who has never gotten to go to a Rush show. And I think that's just because I'm like, I'm in the younger demographic of Rush fans. I'm only 22. And I didn't really start getting into them until I was 17. So they had been done touring for what, like close to 2 years at that point. So yeah, I just kind of have to live vicariously through the live albums and live DVDs or whatever you can find on YouTube, whatever. But that's mine, just short and sweet. I never got to see them, and I wish I would have gotten into them just a little bit earlier in my life, so I could have caught like the tail end of R40 or something.
Hey, to be fair, all the live albums I listen to are the ones before I ever started watching them. So
Yeah,
that
that is a good point. All of my go-to live Rush material are definitely the older stuff. Like this might be an unpopular opinion. My favorite one is All the World the Stage.
Oh hell yeah, dude, that's a good one.
Nice. Hell
That's a
yeah.
good one. Maybe not my fave, but it's up there.
I don't think have we had you on Rush Roots yet, Evan?
No, not yet.
All right. Well, we'll have you on eventually, but not to spoil that. You got into the band when, you said?
When I was about 17, I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
And
So
actually, I
5
remember
years
the
ago,
like
so
exact moment I did.
2018.
Yeah.
All right.
I kind of remember like the exact moment I decided to like do that deep dive too, but we'll save that for Rush Roots.
Sounds good. All right. Mario, your biggest regret. Is it going to be focused around a tour?
No.
It isn't. Cool. All right.
First off, I will eventually be on a Rush Roots as well. Just an FYI.
That's true. You haven't done one.
Regret.
Yes.
That's a regret. Not doing Rush Roots. Yeah, that's a good one. No, my biggest regret is not getting into the band earlier in my life. Because even years before I started getting to Rush, I had to be like late 2014, 2015. My dad's been playing Rush in his truck and around the house for years before that. And Iron Maiden, I knew he liked it, never got into it. I remember when I was younger, he mentioned Snakes and Arrows. I'm like, what is he talking about? Snakes and Arrows. And he said Time Machine. I'm like, wait, what is Time Machine? What is he talking about? Like, I wish I was able to get into Rush, around Snakes and Arrows or around the Time Machine tour. So it gave me an opportunity to learn more about the band, get into them more and see more live shows. Cause I could have saw, Snakes and Arrows. You could have saw Time Machine, could have saw Clockwork Angels. I could have seen all that stuff. If I would have wanted to go see them, because if I wanted to go see them, dad would be able to go see them, because if my dad wanted to go see them without me, my mom wouldn't let him. So if I was into it back then, he would have definitely seen more, and I would have definitely seen more. If only I got into them earlier in my life, my young short life.
All right. We need to get on mom here for not letting
I know.
dad go to the Rush shows.
I was gonna say, what's the
That's
story
so.
there? What's the story there, Mario?
Actually, they did went to funny story real quick. My dad did see a Rush show without me. It was in 2002. I think it was Vapor Trails at MSG. He's with my
Yeah,
friend
but were
Roy.
you even born at that point? I mean, what?
I was born. He went with my friend Roy, who you met at the Iron Maiden concert back in October.
Oh, yes. Mhm.
The one that was smoking the cigarettes. He was on he was on crutches, and just picture them taking a subway to Madison Square Garden. Roy was on crutches, and then Roy, he's on the phone at the concert. He's like, "I'm at the Rush concert. Listen." And he's holding the phone, his flip phone, during the concert. He must have got a wicked phone bill after that because of the minutes accrued. I'm listen. I'm at the Rush concert.
That's funny. So you got into the band, what do you say, 2014?
Yeah, like really started to listen to him more.
Gotcha. So you saw them once, Madison Square Garden?
Yep, I had to see them.
Gotcha.
That was it.
When were you born? What year?
97.
Gotcha. Good stuff. All right. So Jerry, why don't you tell us your biggest regret and why it was starting a Rush podcast?
My greatest achievement.
I know it should be.
Yeah, well, mine is tour related as well. Back in 2002, I had the opportunity to do a meet and greet with the band
Nice.
for the Vapor Trails tour. Not with band, with Alex and Getty. But my daughter was about a year old, and my wife and I had mixed up our work schedules, and we had like rotating grandmas who would come every other week to watch my daughter, and I just couldn't get babysitting coverage. It just didn't happen. And even back then I was like, oh, I really want to do this meet and greet, after all these years. I really just want to get my 10 seconds with them or whatever, right? So Steve went with his wife, and they got the picture together, which I have, I think, on my fridge still to this day. And the kicker is that she was wearing an American flag sweater for some reason. And I was like, you have to wear an American, just wear a Canadian flag or just nothing patriotic at all. But she was in my place. She took my meet and greet place. So
That's hilarious. I remember you telling that on the podcast at some point, and I was wondering what you might say on this, and now it all makes sense. Yeah, that's
So it's, you
I
get
can only imagine what you were doing that day in terms of like scrambling, right? I probably.
yeah, it just didn't work out. What are you gonna do? But
And that was Vapor Trails, you said?
yeah, 2002.
Now, did you end up seeing them again on that tour at any point, or?
Yeah, I think I had already seen them.
Oh, okay.
They came around the New York area twice, I think. I think I saw them twice on that tour earlier on, and at Madison Square Garden. I was probably at the show you were at, Mario.
Probably.
Big Mario.
Big Mario, yeah, your dad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He might have been that guy next to me, annoying me.
With the phone. I'm at the Rush concert. Listen.
This guy with his flip phone. Jeez.
Hey,
Louise.
you know this song? All right, Nick, what do you got?
So first off, I just like to say I regret that I think Mario, Evan, Ryan, and I all have that Robin and Gary can't use, and that's that we weren't born earlier. Missed a lot of good tours because of that. So that's more a regret, more of a blame on our parents. My folks were married in 82, 81, and decided to wait till 89 to have me. So that alone, based off when I got into Rush, I could have at least caught the Test for Echo tour and on, which would have been perfect because that would have been
7-year-old.
perfect. But yeah, so no, that's unfortunate. But I guess it can't be a regret if it wasn't our fault, right? I guess I have kind of like Ryan 2 regrets that I want to throw out there. One is that I never got Neil's autograph. He's not with us anymore. So now you got to like buy something that's already not that I'm going to do that at some point. I'm going to pick up a piece for my collection. But it would have been nice to have gotten, say, my Clockwork Angels poster that I bought at the first Clockwork Angels, or not Clockwork Angels, my Time Machine poster I have from the first Time Machine concert I went to. If I could have taken that and somehow go and figure out a way, I actually knew some people who were working what was then called the Q at the time in Cleveland. I actually knew a couple people who were working there, not higher up, but I could have at least asked, "Hey, can we figure something out so I could get a couple of the band's autographs?" Just would have liked to have been able to fill out that piece for my collection, put it right next to my Kenny Pickett, my Franco, and a couple of my other band autographs, which really aren't anything special. So yeah, getting Neil's autograph, getting more memorabilia, and trying like Jerry said to do the meet and greets
Well,
would have been.
here's what you could do. You could buy Neil's autograph online now and then get that same piece signed by his sisters and his mother at the golf tournament.
Yeah, no, I'm all for that. And hopefully we win this tournament, which I expect us to. I've been hitting bombs off the tee, so we're coming for that memorabilia.
What did you win? Memorabilia?
I guess so.
I don't know what. Stay tuned, you followers of this channel. We are going to the Neil Peart Memorial Golf Tournament at the end of August. Stay tuned. We'll document the whole thing. So,
but my second regret is kind of a little personal regret. I went to a lot of Rush shows by myself. I went to 10. I think I literally went to half of them by myself. Which, don't get me wrong, I love going to concerts by myself. I saw Genesis by myself. I saw Motley Crue by myself. But you know, it would have been nice to have had my friends who I usually go to concerts with, my boys who I go to see like Coheed and In Flames with, or my buddies who I go to see Wiz and MGK with, or like just my concert buddies who, you know, we go and we grab dinner beforehand and make a night of it. Like it would have been nice to have had, you know, I was fortunate to take my dad to 3 of those shows with me, or actually 4, one on each tour. That would have been nice to have gotten to there. That was cool that I got to do that, but it would have been nice to have taken my friends and actually seen it with people I knew. Granted, when you go to a show, everybody's like talking, where you from, what do you do, how many times you seen the band? Like everybody's super social at the Rush show. It's kind of got that metal, you know, that metalhead vibe to it, where everyone's just like real passionate and happy to be there. It's not like when you go to a country concert and everybody wants to fight because they're drunk off of one shot of Jack Daniels. But anyways, like it's just that metalhead vibe, and everyone's there for the band. Everyone just loves it, and they're so excited to be together. I just wish I would have shared that with a few more of my friends. So, and it would have been really cool if Rush was touring right now and we could all get together. Everybody's been on Rush fans get to do a show together. That would be so cool.
I was just about to add to that. Like, it's not exactly easy to make Rush friends, right? Because like I feel like for me, growing up before all this, all the Rush fan stuff, I knew like one person that like Rush, and he would go to the shows with his dad. So, you know, I was like, all right, mom, come on, let's go. You're coming with, right? But like with this community that we built, yeah, it's a shame that Rush isn't still touring. Maybe there will be something in the future. Who knows? There's all sorts of rumors out there, but I will say that, you know, and when episode 200 comes around, I'll reflect then. But grateful that I've met all of you guys and everyone else through this. You know, it's just a shame there's no Rush to go see together. But maybe other bands. Maybe we'll go see other bands together again.
I tell you what, I have this dream of, and obviously I've always said it would be great if they played at a stadium like Heinz Field. It would have been great if they played there. I envision, because there's so many of you who are from New York, the New York area, and I was just in New York City last week for the first time. It's all right. I envision myself though going there, meeting up with everybody, and going to like MetLife Stadium and working our way to the barricade, and just me plowing my way to the barricade, being like, "Follow me," because when I go to metal shows, I'm always on the barricade. I'd be like, "Get out of my way! I'm getting my boys there," and and the girls in the group do. I'd be like, yeah, just tag along. We got this. And I'd be throwing bows, getting everybody there. Boom, barricade. Let's get up here and roll right there. Maybe a little to the left, maybe more towards Alex, but because it's hard to get right to that center, but we do it. So yeah, it's a bummer we won't get that.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get something with Alex and Ged. Who knows? Would be cool.
Hey, there's always
but...
tribute bands too.
Yes.
Yep.
That's a thing. We could
Close
do that.
enough. I mean,
Rush is the band that
in certain instances,
bands can really do it justice. It's not like Motley Crue or bands
Motley
like
Crue tribute bands do it better than Motley Crue.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Yeah,
especially now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is true. All right. Well, viewers, let us know in the comments what your biggest regret was as a Rush fan. Is it a show you missed? Is it an album you didn't purchase at the time? Is it, a friend's number you didn't take down at a concert and you never talked to them again? Maybe they're out there, whatever. Definitely let us know what your biggest regret is in the comments. And yeah, we will be starting the song discussions for Counterparts soon. I don't know if that's going to be next week or not. We might take a week off with the 4th of July holiday in the States. We might take a week off. We'll see. What?
Canada Day is July 1st.
Canada Day is July 1st, yes. Very good, Mario.
Canada Day. To the home country of our favorite band. Let's go.
There you go. Happy Canada Day. Happy 4th of July. And we'll see you next time on the Rush Roundtable. Take care, everybody.